Chosen ones, I need you to pause whatever you're doing and lean in with your spirit wide open, because what you're about to receive is not just a message. This is a divine interruption, a prophetic encounter orchestrated by heaven itself. If this video found you, it's because heaven summoned you. You didn't stumble across this by chance. You were led here by divine intention. This very moment has been marked on God's calendar as the turning point in your journey. And now, right now, He's about to drop a revelation so powerful, so life-altering. It will not only break the invisible chains of lack that have tried to hold you back, it will launch you into your billionaire destiny. Yes, I said billionaire. And no, this is not about hype or illusion. It's about divine inheritance. It's about stepping fully into what has been prepared for you long before the foundation of the world. You've whispered secret prayers in the quiet hours, asking God if you were meant for more. If the dream of wealth, influence, and purpose could really be His plan for you. Well, He heard you. The billions you dreamed of, they are not wishful thinking. They are fulfillment waiting to be unlocked. You are not being teased with possibility. You are being invited into prophecy. Chosen one, this word is heavy with glory. It isn't motivational fluff or empty inspiration. This is prophetic truth straight from the throne room of God. You've been set apart for something greater, and that greatness includes overflow. Wealth is not being dangled in front of you like a carrot. It is your covenant right, and today the vault begins to open. So before we even dive in, I need you to do something. Not out of routine, but as a prophetic act. Pause this message and hit that like button as a declaration that you are stepping into your next level. Subscribe not just as a viewer, but as a believer, aligning yourself with a community of other chosen ones who are rising into wealth with purpose. And finally, drop 777 in the comments. Not as a gimmick, but as a prophetic symbol of divine completion, alignment, and perfection. Let heaven see your faith in action. Let the angels witness your agreement with what God is about to release in your life. You're not watching a video, you're entering a spiritual transaction. Let's journey together into the abundance that has always had your name on it. Chosen one, hear this with your whole spirit. You were never meant to be ordinary. You were never created to blend in, to shrink back, or to live confined by the limits of this world. You are the exception in a world full of copies. You've always felt the tension of not quite fitting in, haven't you? That's because you were designed to stand out. You carry something that can't be explained by logic, a divine code embedded in your very being. And that code is called destiny. The moments in your life when you felt out of place, misunderstood, or overlooked were not coincidences. They were confirmations. Confirmations that you were marked, that your path would never look like the average. You were not called to follow trends, you were called to set them. You weren't called to borrow from the world's systems, you were called to build kingdom systems. That uncomfortable feeling you've had, the sense that you were born for more, that's not pride, that's prophecy. Deuteronomy 8 verse 18 tells us clearly, "But remember the Lord your God, for it is He who gives you the power to get wealth, that He may confirm His covenant." Not just power to survive, power to generate, to multiply, to overflow. Your ability to access wealth isn't sourced from hustle. It's sourced from heaven. The anointing on your life is not casual. It's generational. And the wealth you're being ushered into isn't just for comfort. It's for covenant. Don't let the enemy convince you that desiring wealth means you're worldly. No, when you're aligned with God's purpose, wealth becomes your weapon. You are not meant to live under financial stress, scraping and struggling for daily bread. You've been handpicked to walk in divine provision that reflects the abundance of your Father. Think about it, when God placed Adam in the garden, He placed him in a realm of endless supply. The first environment God ever created for man was one of overflow. Lack came after the fall, but restoration brings you back into Eden realities. As a chosen one, you are being restored to that original design. A design of dominion, a design of abundance, a design of more than enough. You've been chosen to carry wealth not just in your hands, but in your mind, your vision, your strategies, your legacy. And make no mistake, this wealth will not come by accident. It comes by identity. When you know who you are, the world has no choice but to respond to the authority you walk in. You were never meant to be ordinary, because the God who created you is anything but ordinary. And now He's calling you to rise, not to a comfortable life, but to a divine one. Your time of hiding is over. Your season of scraping is done. This is your moment of unveiling. You are not average. You are not common. You are not one in a million. You are one of a kind. Heaven has called your number, and the vault of supernatural wealth is opening in your name. Chosen one, receive this truth deeply. You were never meant to blend in because you were created to break through. Chosen one, hear me clearly. This is your covenant season. This is not just another chapter in your life. This is the divine moment where everything begins to align, not because of striving, but because of sealing. God is not responding to your hustle. He is responding to His promise. You are not stepping into overflow because you earned it, you're stepping into it because He declared it. This is the season where overflow is not a luxury, it is a necessity. It's not a dream to pursue, it's a covenant to walk in. God didn't call you to a life of begging, borrowing, or barely getting by. He called you to a life of building, expanding, and pioneering. You are not a bystander to the blessings of God. You are a participant, a partner, a prophetic builder of the legacy He's writing through your life. Let that settle in your soul. You are not chasing billions. You are aligning with what is already written. And when alignment meets obedience, manifestation becomes inevitable. In Malachi 3 verse 10, the Lord says, "Bring the whole tithe into the storehouse, that there may be food in my house. Test me in this, says the Lord Almighty, and see if I will not throw open the windows of heaven and pour out so much blessing that there will not be room enough to store it." That's not symbolic. That's structural. That's kingdom economy at work. He's not opening a window just to show you favor. He's opening the vault to fund your calling. And here's the thing about covenant. It doesn't expire. It doesn't fluctuate based on market trends. It's not tied to economic forecasts. It's eternal. God doesn't deal in leftovers. He deals in legacy. He's not giving you just enough to prove He can. He's releasing more than enough because He knows what you're going to do with it. He trusts you to steward wealth, not hoard it, to multiply it, not waste it, to release it where healing is needed, where freedom is overdue, and where heaven wants to break in. Think of Solomon, the son of David, the builder of the temple, the wisest man to ever walk the earth. 1 Kings 10 verse 23 says, "King Solomon was greater in riches and wisdom than all the other kings of the earth." He wasn't just wealthy, he was the wealthiest. But here's the key. Solomon never asked for money. He asked for wisdom. And in that one divine request, God gave him what he didn't ask for: riches, honor, and power. Why? Because wisdom is the foundation of kingdom wealth. You don't need to chase money. You need to chase the mind of God. And when you do, He will add the billions. He will place you in rooms you didn't campaign for. He will open doors you didn't knock on. Because covenant is about access, not effort. It's about connection, not competition. This is your covenant season. The heavens are open. The outpour is ready. And your name is written on the release. Chosen one, lift your eyes and stretch your faith. You're not entering a new level, you're entering your divine agreement. You're not hoping for increase. You're walking in the fulfillment of a promise that was made before you were born. The vault of abundance is not locked. It's wide open. And God is handing you the key. This is not your striving season. This is your receiving season. Chosen one, let this settle in your spirit. Your difference has never been your weakness. It has always been your divine advantage. What the world labeled as too much, too deep, or too different was actually God's signature on your life. You weren't created to blend in, you were crafted to break molds. And while others stayed within the boundaries of comfort, God was stretching you in the quiet, preparing you in the dark, and insulating you from distractions that could have destroyed your destiny. That season of loneliness, it wasn't punishment, it was protection. God wasn't withholding people. He was preserving your purpose. He separated you not to isolate you, but to anoint you. While others were playing it safe, He was depositing divine ideas in your spirit. While others were seeking validation, you were being cultivated. You were hidden because you were holy, and now He's calling you to stop hiding and start rising. Heaven is echoing Psalm 23 verse 5 over your life in this very moment. You anoint my head with oil, my cup overflows. That oil isn't ordinary. It's the oil of kings, prophets, and visionaries. And that overflow, it's not just about emotional or spiritual abundance. It's financial, strategic, global, and generational. That overflow is billions. You've got to stop shrinking to fit into rooms God never designed for you. Stop minimizing your dreams to make others feel comfortable. Your thoughts are not small. They're expansive. Your ideas are not random. They're revelations. You've been entrusted with blueprints from heaven, billion-dollar blueprints that will shift industries, birth movements, and transform entire communities. The same spirit that hovered over the waters in Genesis, the spirit that formed galaxies, is the same spirit who planted those visions in your heart. Your creative spark is divine. Your unconventional path is prophetic. You weren't overlooked. You were overshadowed by glory. The ideas you've been second-guessing, they're not too big. They're exactly the size of your calling. Let me remind you of Joseph. He was different, and his dreams made people uncomfortable. But it was his divine difference that opened the door to the palace. The same is true for you. You are not crazy for dreaming beyond your surroundings. You're not arrogant for desiring to build empires. You're not greedy for believing in billions. You're chosen, and your difference is the evidence. The world may have tried to teach you scarcity, make you feel like you have to compete, struggle, and settle. But God is teaching you supernatural supply. He's training you to walk in abundance that doesn't come from effort but from encounter, from intimacy, from divine download. So don't dim your light to match their shadow. Don't reduce your vision to match their fear. You've been wired for wealth. You've been coded for creativity. And the Spirit of the living God has written a billionaire script over your life, and it's time to step into your starring role. Your difference was never a problem. It was always the prophecy. Chosen one, the very moment your spirit aligned with this message, heaven took notice. It wasn't just your ears that heard these words. It was your destiny that responded. In that sacred agreement, a divine shift was triggered. Things began to move in the unseen realm the moment you said yes in your heart. Because alignment is not passive, it's prophetic. And Ecclesiastes 3 verse 11 confirms it. He has made everything beautiful in its time. Chosen one, hear this now, your time is now. This is not empty prosperity talk. This is kingdom reality grounded in covenant truth. The world may scoff, but heaven is serious about your elevation. You've spent too many years in cycles of barely enough, too long under the weight of generational struggle. But the moment your heart aligned with God's word, truly aligned with His voice and His vision, everything began to break open. The enemy has fought hard to keep you trapped in scarcity. He's tried to wear you down with lack, distract you with survival, and discourage you into silence. But here's what he forgot. Alignment is your access key. When your spirit agrees with heaven, the vault of abundance has no choice but to open. Your faith is not a feeling, it is a frequency. And when you tuned in to this prophetic frequency, you positioned yourself for release. Heaven is now releasing what was withheld, not because God was holding back, but because your faith has matured enough to receive. Believe before you see. Move before the millions. Obey before the overflow, because obedience precedes outpouring, and trust unlocks treasure. God is not looking for hustlers. He's looking for those who move by faith. The billions aren't coming to those who grind the hardest. They're coming to those who align the deepest. This is a spiritual system, not a secular sprint. It's not about being the smartest in the room. It's about being the most surrendered. Heaven is now assigning angels, strategic, resource-carrying, miracle-releasing angels, to bring into your life the very things your faith has declared. Provision is being dispatched. Ideas are being quickened. People are being divinely aligned with your name on their hearts. You are not waiting on wealth. Wealth is waiting on your yes. This is your moment to walk in boldness. Not to figure it all out, but to trust that God already has. You don't need to know where every door is. You just need to know that heaven is the locksmith. Say yes and the doors will open. Say yes and the favor will flood in. Say yes and watch how fast lack turns to legacy. Chosen one, this is your alignment moment. Don't take it lightly. Don't delay your obedience. You're not waiting on God. God is waiting on your yes. And once that yes is released with your whole heart, abundance will answer louder than any doubt ever did. Chosen one, let this truth thunder in your spirit. Your pit was never the end. It was the setup. Like Joseph, you have endured betrayal, false accusations, and seasons of confinement. You've been overlooked, underestimated, and misunderstood. But here's the prophetic revelation. God wasn't done with Joseph, and he's certainly not done with you. What looked like the end was actually the beginning of elevation. Genesis 41 verses 41 to 42 declares something powerful. Pharaoh said to Joseph, I hereby put you in charge of the whole land of Egypt. Then Pharaoh took his signet ring from his finger and put it on Joseph's hand. He dressed him in robes of fine linen and put a gold chain around his neck. In a single moment, Joseph went from prisoner to ruler, from captive to commander, from the dungeon to the throne. That's not just a story. That's a prophetic mirror of what God is doing in your life right now. The very chains that held you down are being broken. The very lies that tried to bury you are turning into stepping stones. The pain you thought would destroy you is becoming the platform that launches you. And here's the divine plot twist. You're not just being released. You're being crowned. That same mantle, the mantle of sudden promotion, divine favor, and supernatural authority, is falling on you right now. You've served in silence, but now you're about to reign in the spotlight. You've wept in hidden places, but now you'll lead with kingdom power. The palace you dreamed of in secret is the place God is leading you to publicly. This is your Joseph moment. Your prison season has expired. The doors of limitation are swinging wide open, and angels are announcing your arrival. The authority that was once denied is being transferred. The abundance that was once delayed is being delivered. Understand this, Joseph didn't manipulate his way into wealth. He was faithful in the pit. He interpreted dreams in the dungeon. He trusted God when everything looked hopeless. And because of that faithfulness, God accelerated him in a single day. That's what's happening for you, chosen one. God is not going to take 10 years to do what he can release in one day. You're not inching toward your breakthrough. You're stepping into a supernatural shift that will shock everyone who doubted you. In the same way Pharaoh handed Joseph the ring of rulership, God is placing authority in your hand and overflow in your house. Your billionaire mantle is not in the distance. It is descending now. You're not dreaming it. You're walking into it. So lift your head, square your shoulders, and walk out of the pit with the posture of a king or queen, because the palace was always yours. Your pit was preparation. Your process had purpose. And now your promotion is prophetic. Welcome to your palace. Welcome to your billionaire moment. Chosen one, it's time to see the bigger picture. This calling to wealth, this release of supernatural billions, it's not about flaunting riches or chasing luxuries. No, this is about kingdom construction. This is about becoming a divine architect of restoration. God is not handing you billions so you can boast. He's blessing you so you can build. The world chases riches for status, but God releases wealth for strategy. He doesn't pour into empty hands. He pours into trustworthy ones. And he's chosen you because he can trust you. He knows you won't just collect wealth, you'll channel it. You'll turn it into solutions, structures, and sanctuaries. You'll use it to heal what's been broken, to lift what's been crushed, to revive what's been forgotten. Think about the billionaires of this world, Gates, Buffett, and others. They gave away billions. But your giving? It won't be charity. It will be worship. Every dollar released from your hand will carry the weight of heaven. Your wealth will not simply fund projects, it will fund prophecies. It will become an altar where heaven meets earth. Isaiah 61 verse 4 speaks directly to your assignment. They will rebuild the ancient ruins and restore the places long devastated. They will renew the ruined cities that have been devastated for generations. That's you. Your wealth will rebuild what religion forgot. Your billions will revive what governments failed to fix. Your legacy will repair what generations before you were too wounded to touch. You're not just inheriting wealth. You're inheriting responsibility. You're not just stepping into abundance, you're stepping into divine assignment. This isn't just about being blessed. It's about being sent. Sent to bring clean water to dry villages. Sent to build safe homes for the fatherless. Sent to establish schools, clinics, ministries, and missions that echo God's heart long after you're gone. Chosen one, this is why the blessing had to be delayed. God wasn't punishing you, He was preparing you. Because without purpose, wealth is just noise. But with purpose, it becomes a song of redemption. You are that song. You are that strategy. And your wealth will be a river that never runs dry. So don't cheapen your vision to fit in with the world's view of success. Your billions are holy. They're weighty. They're destined to shake the earth and announce the glory of God. The world will marvel at your impact, but you'll know it was never about you. It was always about Him. You're not just rich, you're responsible. And because of that, God is funding you like never before. Not for luxury, but for legacy. Not for pride, but for purpose. You are His chosen financier, His trusted vessel, His appointed builder. And your wealth will be the evidence that God still reigns. Chosen one, it's time to shift your posture. You're not waiting for billions to confirm your calling. Your calling already confirms the billions. Faith doesn't sit around waiting for a notification. Faith walks like it's already done. And right now, God is calling you to walk, talk, and think like the billionaire He's already declared you to be. This isn't about ego, it's about identity. You are not hoping to become something you already are. You're not wishing for wealth. You're awakening to what's already written. From the moment God chose you, He also chose your impact, your influence, and yes, your increase. That's why it's time to adjust your posture. Lift your head. Straighten your back. Speak boldly. Move prophetically. Isaiah 54 verse 17 says, "No weapon formed against you shall prosper." That includes every lie whispering that you're not worthy. That includes fear of failure, past trauma, rejection, and the scarcity mindsets that try to cling to your spirit. None of them will prosper, not against someone like you, not against a chosen vessel walking in covenant. You've got to understand, your thoughts are magnets. When you think lack, you attract limitation. But when you think abundance, you align with heaven's blueprint. When you think billions, not out of greed, but out of divine assignment, you begin to pull in the very resources God ordained for you to steward. Don't think small. Don't speak defeat. Don't walk like a beggar when you've been crowned by the King. Speak billions. Think billions. Act with kingdom authority. Start making decisions from your future, not your fear. What would a billionaire with a purpose say? What would they build? Who would they bless? How would they carry themselves in a room? You don't wait to be seen as successful to behave with confidence. You act in faith because heaven has already seen your future. Remember, Joseph didn't become royalty when Pharaoh crowned him. He was already walking in that spirit long before anyone recognized it. David didn't become a king when he sat on the throne. He was a king in the field, fighting lions and giants with a shepherd's sling. And you, chosen one, are already walking in billionaire energy, even if your account hasn't caught up yet. So declare it, decree it. Don't wait to feel it, walk in it now. Your alignment is accelerating manifestation. When you move like it's already done, heaven moves to match your motion. This isn't just about confidence. It's about covenant conduct. Walk like a steward of nations. Move like a carrier of kingdom wealth. Talk like a person sent by God to shift the atmosphere and shake the earth. You're not trying to become a billionaire. You're becoming aware that you already are. Walk like it's done. Because in heaven it already is. Chosen one, let's shift the focus now from personal gain to generational impact. Because what God is doing in your life isn't just for you. It's for everyone connected to your bloodline and your obedience. This wealth is not about showing off. It's about showing the way. It's about leaving footprints of faith so deep that generations after you can walk in them without losing their way. You weren't chosen to just make money, you were chosen to make history. Galatians 4 verse 7 reminds us of who we are. Since you are His child, God has made you also an heir. Heir to what? Not just peace, not just joy, not just salvation, though those are priceless, but heir to the full treasury of heaven. That means you don't inherit just enough to survive. You inherit enough to shift the entire trajectory of your lineage. This is about legacy, not luxury. You're not here to build towers of wealth that glorify your name. You're here to build bridges to freedom that glorify God's. You're here to break generational curses and plant generational blessings. You're not chasing clout, you're cultivating change. Every dollar that flows through your hands is not just currency. It's a seed. And when that seed is sown with faith, it becomes a tree of righteousness that provides shelter for generations to come. Your investments are more than business decisions. They are altars of worship. Every act of generosity, every kingdom move, every vision you fund, it's all warfare in the spirit. You're tearing down strongholds of poverty. You're destroying legacies of lack. You're raising up futures filled with divine promise. The enemy thought if he could trap you in survival mode, you'd never think about legacy. But God has broken the cycle. You're no longer just trying to get by, you're now called to build beyond. Beyond yourself, beyond your lifetime, beyond anything your ancestors could have imagined. You are the Abraham of your bloodline, the Esther of your generation, the Solomon of your future dynasty. God isn't just blessing your hands, He's blessing your house. And because of your yes, your children will not fight the battles you had to fight. They'll inherit the land you claimed. They'll walk through the doors you opened. They'll drink from wells you dug in faith. So understand this, chosen one, your billions are not just for personal comfort, they are for eternal impact. You're not building bank accounts. You're building kingdom ecosystems. Homes will be restored. Communities will be revived. Ministries will be launched. Nations will be influenced, all because you understood the difference between possession and purpose. This is what it means to be chosen for wealth, not to consume it, but to consecrate it, to point every dollar back to the throne, to let every harvest testify, God did this. Your legacy is rising, and it will not fade, because it's not built on greed, it's built on glory. Chosen one, hear this in your spirit. This is not just a message. This is a now word. Heaven is in motion. Things are shifting as you listen. The supernatural realm is aligning with your destiny in real time. This moment is not something to take lightly or scroll past casually. It's divine. It's prophetic. It's personal. The enemy would love nothing more than for you to treat this like just another video, another word among many. But deep down, you know better. Your spirit is bearing witness that this is different. This is sacred. This is your moment of activation. You didn't click this by accident, you were summoned. 2 Corinthians 6 verse 2 thunders with truth. Now is the time of God's favor. Now is the day of salvation. Not tomorrow. Not someday when you feel more qualified. Now, this is the moment God marked for your rise. This is the window of favor, the gateway of wealth, the divine yes that overrides every earthly no. Chosen one, this isn't about chasing blessings. This is about positioning your heart to receive what has already been released. The billions you're believing for aren't hiding, they're hovering. They are waiting for the signal of your faith, your surrender, your action. And that signal is simple now. Your billions aren't coming, they're already here. In your ideas. That vision you've been hesitant to start is a billion-dollar blueprint from heaven. In your obedience. That nudge to move, to sow, to speak, to step. Every act of obedience is unlocking more than you can see. In your faith, because faith is not wishing, it's pulling the unseen into the seen. You don't need 1 million followers. You need one moment of radical belief, one bold yes, one unshakable agreement with what God has spoken over you. Stop postponing your promise. Stop disqualifying yourself. You are not too late, you are right on time. The time of favor is not in the future. It's not next season. It's not when everything looks right. It's right now. Heaven doesn't operate on your calendar. It moves at the speed of surrender. So when God sees faith rise, He releases the flood. Don't hold back. Don't wait for perfect conditions. Faith doesn't wait for clarity. It creates it. The river is flowing now. The vault is open now. The favor is falling now. Chosen one, this is not a motivational moment. This is a divine release. And the only thing standing between you and your billionaire destiny is a decision to believe it's yours. Say it out loud. Type it in the comments. Prophesy it over yourself. My time is now. My wealth is here. My purpose is funded. I receive it all today. Drop 777 to seal it. Hit that like button as a public act of faith. Subscribe to stay in divine alignment because heaven is just getting started with you. This is your now word. Walk in it. Chosen one, this is the moment everything shifts. Not because your circumstances have changed, but because your perspective has aligned with your prophetic identity. You are not broke, you are being built. You are not behind, you are being prepared. You are not stuck in delay, you are awakening into divine acceleration. This is not the end of a message. It's the beginning of a movement. The fire that's burning in your heart right now isn't hype. It's heaven speaking. The voice you feel rising inside you isn't your own. It's the Spirit of God calling you into the overflow. So declare it with boldness. I am a billionaire by divine design. Not someday, not maybe, now. Not for vanity, but for victory. Not for self, but for legacy. Not for greed, but for God's glory. This is your moment, your mantle, your mission. You were not chosen to survive paycheck to paycheck. You were chosen to overflow in such a way that generations are transformed, nations are impacted, and heaven is glorified. This is more than a video. This is a vault opening. And your name, yes, your name is engraved on the treasure inside. God didn't bring you this far to tease you. He brought you here to transfer something, to activate something, to unlock something that's been dormant, waiting for the spark of faith you just released. Drop 777 in the comments to seal this moment with prophetic agreement. That number is not random. It represents completion, perfection, divine order. It's the sound of heaven saying, "It is done." Hit that like button not for vanity, but as a public declaration, I agree with heaven's verdict on my life. Subscribe because this isn't a one-time word. It's a lifelong journey, and we're rising together as a community of chosen ones walking in unstoppable, undeniable wealth from above. Chosen one, walk boldly, give generously, think abundantly, speak prophetically, and rise powerfully, because your season of overflow is not approaching. It has arrived. You are not just wealthy. You are God's billionaire. And it is so. Amen.